Oh, I knew D would be the first one in. I'm trying to pull all the rest of this crap up. It's the only way I can do it live now. Now that they've changed everything up, it's a pain in the butt. So I've got to have the computer and the phone. All both of them. Yeah, it's good. It's good to be back. You're gonna hear the phone going off like crazy because my phone's just getting blown the hell up. But you're gonna hear it buzzing and shit. Critical. Oh, I'm gonna bring the damn. I'm gonna bring some rain down on fucking Disney's ass tonight. Y'all are gonna be blown the fuck away by the shit these fuckers. I sat in on a 45-minute meeting. I sat in on a 45-minute shareholder meeting the other night, and I've got a second phone on charge right now, so I've got two phones here, and I've got my regular computer. So I was gonna do this at the house, but I didn't quite make it there. I'm still at work. So, what's up, Mike? Jay, what's up, brother? I'm still at work trying to make some money, so gotta do what you gotta do. You know what I mean? I believe I've got two of them ready to go. Oh, good. We're monetized. Awesome. Well, we're monetized for now, so we're probably not going to be monetized after Disney gets a hold of this right here because I'm pretty sure that they're going to own a piece of this shit here too. Hey, Steph's in the house. Yeah, Akbar lives. Oh man. All right, guys. I'm gonna go ahead and get this rolling since we got a few people in here. Um, yeah, OGE, Ola Greg. All right, so I let Steph in on this today, and she thought it was pretty damn interesting. I sat in on a 45-minute shareholders meeting on the phone, and at the shareholders meeting, it's not going well. I'm just gonna just put that out there. It's not like it wasn't like a normal shareholders meeting that you would normally listen to. Um, there are multiple companies that they're hedge fund companies for people that own extremely large amounts of stock. I mean, I own 10,000, but that's not large compared to a bunch of these people that own a lot of stock. So, and um, they represent 5, 10, 15 people that own stock in the company. Well, it was brought up, and it was tried, and they tried to sugarcoat it. I'm not gonna lie, they tried to sugarcoat attendance. That they tried to sugarcoat, and not just in Florida, and not just in California. The attendance overall at the parks is down. Now, whether that's because of their identity politics that they're trying to throw into everything, or we know it's not the damn economy. So um, there were a couple of big hedge fund groups that stepped up, and so now there's a vote on the floor, a vote of no confidence. Now, at a shareholders meeting, when you get a vote of no confidence, um, if you'll remember, and I'm gonna just this way I can give it to you the exact way that you could understand it clearly. It's the same thing that they did in the or in the prequels when they gave a vote of no confidence for the chancellor, blah blah blah. And then there you go. Well, they've given a vote of no confidence. Now this is held only for the shareholders. This doesn't come out in public because it would severely affect Disney stock. So a vote of no confidence is gonna have to be taken. Um, and the vote of no confidence is in Bob Iger. So it's in the head of Disney. Now this come from there were two separate hedge fund groups. I don't remember the names because they said them so damn quick, but I'll get them in the manuscript, or I'll get them in the notes whenever I get them in the mail. Um, and that's pretty big ass damn news right there. I mean, seriously, that's pretty big ass news right there. When you get a vote of no confidence in the guy that's running this massive corporation that owns a third of every fucking thing in the world, it's a pretty big deal. Yeah, it's a really big fucking deal. Now, whether the vote of no confidence is going to be because each share that you own is a vote. What's going on, John? Yeah, each share that you own is a vote. Um, and I mean, it doesn't sound like much, but guess what? I get 10,000 votes. That's not a lot, but we all know how my confidence in Bob Iger is. Now, the other thing that was brought up after the vote of no confidence, um, which they'll set a date, and I'll talk about tampons here in a minute. I promise. They're always on my mind. I can just tell you. Um, yeah, so they brought up the vote of no confidence, and we'll get a notification of when that vote's going to take place. Now, a lot of these people that own these hedge fund accounts or manage these hedge fund accounts for these multimillionaires and everything else, I mean, they have tons and tons and tons of stocks. So, if there are two hedge fund groups, and let's say each one of them has, well, we know they're going to have more than 10 clients, and each one of them has 100,000 stocks, or each one of them has 200,000 stocks, and you multiply that times 10, and there's two of them, so now you've multiplied that times 20. You are looking at quite a bit of votes. And the board would have no choice other than to, if the vote of no confidence goes through, they would have absolutely no choice but to have Bob Iger step down. Now, who would run the company after that? I don't know. When this vote's going to take place, I don't know. Not yet. It was just this week whenever I listened in on the shareholders meeting. But after this took place, they tried to sugarcoat the way everything was going, and basically they're looking at restructuring the come on, give me the correct term for it, Steph. The different companies for the motion pictures. I don't know if they're going to consolidate. I don't know if they're going to license out, but there's definitely going to be, each franchise is going to be restructured. Now, does that mean that, KK is finally out and Feige's going to move over from Marvel to Lucasfilm permanently? None of that came up, but a restructuring of a franchise is a huge deal as well. It's a big deal when you just restructure a corporation. But when you're restructuring each individual franchise, which means that they're looking at Marvel's direction now too, and it's one thing to put your identity politics into one thing, but when all you're doing is getting pushback from the people that you're trying to get money off of, sorry, bud, doesn't work. I mean, it just doesn't work. So we all know that Lucasfilm, they actually took the losses from Lucasfilm and put it into the parks, which available cash now versus 2 years ago is a tenth of what they had, and available cash is huge. Available cash is huge when you're doing valuation on a company. I don't give a damn if you own every fucking thing. If you've got no fucking cash, that's a huge deal. That means everything that you're doing is financed. So right now they actually have a tenth of what they had 2 years ago in available cash. That is a huge fucking deal in itself. The way that they're hiding the losses from Lucasfilm, although they did admit that Lucasfilm is taking losses, they wouldn't admit to the amount. But on everybody's statement, of course, just like last time, it is, they're rolling it into the parks. And we all know that the parks aren't doing that good to begin with. So, I hate to piss on Disney's cornflakes. I really do, because I mean, but you kind of brought it on yourself. And the whole Fox deal last year, and raising up how much you were going to pay, and doing this and doing that, and making it stock options, and everything else. This is not a good idea. Now, I went over this whenever this Fox deal was going through, and I was rooting on Fox to say, nah, fuck off, hell no, let somebody else buy it, this and that, because the amount of money that they were going to have to pay for it, and available cash on hand, which is why they couldn't pay the money that everybody else was doing, because they didn't have that available cash. But you remember the multi-billions of dollars that I was talking about, the tens of billions of dollars that they had in available cash at the time. If you go back and watch that video, they have a tenth of that now. That's a lot. What's up? That's my boy James. I didn't see, man. The thing's going so damn fast. It's nice having people in here right now. So it's nice being back on live, doing a live stream. It's kind of weird to have to do it with pretty much a damn phone and a weird ass damn computer and shit, because I don't know, they've changed it now. So, well, at last count, John, we were 3.5 billion from Lucasfilm in the hole. Not including, because the parks, they were separating at the time, they were separating how much they actually spent on Galaxy's Edge. And of course, we know that they had to redo the one in California, and it was going to be the one open first. So they had to go ahead and do it really quick because they didn't have the proper permits, and shit got kind of fucked up because it's California and they have weird fucking regulations out there. Now, the one in Florida, they had no problem with. They already had the land. Everything was already done. They really didn't have to clear a whole lot out. So it didn't take as much to do Galaxy's Edge. When I said it didn't take, I mean, you're looking at $1 billion. I mean, but $1 billion to a supposedly, and here's the thing, they're not a trillion-dollar company. They're not. Disney owns a third of fucking everything and is not a trillion-dollar company. Amazon owns one fucking thing, and they are almost a trillion-dollar company. They are valuated, I think their valuation last time was $985 billion. Now, if one company can kick another corporation's ass that owns a third of everything, there's a problem. I'm not the only one that sees it, though. Luckily, the other investors see it. Yeah, it was a total between stocks and cash of like I think it was like 4.2 billion is what they acquired it for. 4.5 billion is what they acquired it for. But they also had there were also stipulations in there. Now there were also stipulations in there whenever they went to go buy it. There's kickbacks for George for different things. Um, obviously, obviously he he kept a percentage um, from the original trilogy characters, which, man, you know, you give me 4.5 billion, I can walk away from any fucking thing. But man, 4.5 billion, and you've got the balls to be able to make money on the original trilogy characters, which is why you don't see them in the parks. Um, Now, this is supposed to change. The restructuring at the parks is supposed to be a character restructuring. And what this means is you're going to see more original trilogy characters inside the parks. Um, it was brought up, just like I've been saying all along, who would pay $150 to go to a shopping mall? Because that's basically what it is you're paying $150 to go to a shopping mall. The two rides that they do have open right now um, are not bad rides. But do you really want to get on a ride with 40 people, elbow to elbow, where it doesn't seem like it's just your experience? And the ride doesn't last that long. You know what I mean? The ride doesn't last that long. You only have two rides. The rest of the time, you're shopping. Okay, well, if I've already paid $150 to get in there, and let's say there's four of us, that's $600 just to get in for a day. This doesn't include your Disney ticket. That's $150 to get into Galaxy's Edge. So you've got $600 invested, and everything that you fucking have, everything that you want to buy. Like, I want to buy a lightsaber. Okay, I want to go through there, and what I want to do, by God, is I want to go in and I want to build a lightsaber. All right, well, kids want to do that too. Well, you got two of them. Well, bam, there's $400. Well, you going to be in there with a kid? You going to get one too? Shit, yeah. If you're like me and just nothing but a big kid, hell yeah, I want one too. So now there's $600. Well, now you're $1,200 in the hole for a day, and now Disney's gonna raise the price of the drinks at their cantina, their bar. It is ridiculous. It's ridiculous. Their prices, which you can find online, the menus online, along with pricing for the drinks. And some of the drinks you're already paying $25 a piece already. So you and your wife have a drink while the kids are doing something else. Well, you paid $50 for two drinks. That's ridiculous. So they're going to raise the price of alcohol. They're dropping the amount of people that are going to be actually in Galaxy's Edge. But the bright side is there's going to be some OT characters brought back in. Now, when I say that, you're going to get, more than likely, you're going to get a generic Wookiee. You're going to get the worst Han Solo actor ever. It's they're not going to rebrand it. They're not going to rebrand it. They've got way too much money in it, like close to $3 billion between the two parks, and that was just building costs. That's not operating costs. So you still have to pay everybody to be there every day, even though there's fucking nothing there. I will say that some of the stuff that they have for sale is actually good quality stuff and not really overpriced. I will say that if you go for the clothing and stuff like that's really not overpriced. Like if you wanted a Jedi outfit or a Sith outfit, or you wanted this, you wanted that, it's really not that bad. You could walk away with a complete Jedi outfit for around 120 bucks. All right, that's really not bad. I mean, it's really not. That's really not bad, especially when you're buying it from them, and it's decent. It's still Chinese made, but it's decent. They're even raising the price on the freaking blue milk. And who the fuck wants blue milk? I mean, God's honest truth, who the fuck wants blue milk? Nobody. These are some of the things that were brought up by um, Disney executives at the shareholders meeting. They were talking about what they were going to do for compensating for the losses. Um, and a lot of the shareholders just didn't like it. There were actually 2 votes on the floor. One vote on the floor. I'm trying to remember exactly how it was worded. So give me a second. Let me remember exactly how it was worded, because this came from board members and Disney executives, and was actually voted down by shareholders. This rarely happens. This rarely happens that shareholders outvote the Disney executives and everything else, because you have to remember, we're dealing with common stocks. These motherfuckers aren't dealing with common stocks. So when you're talking about Disney execs and the shareholders, well, of course, they have a majority. They're not going to give away 51% of the company. So they're using theirs in order to do what they want to do. Well, they got outvoted on some shit, and then they got called out for it. And I'll get the 2 names of the hedge fund companies as soon as I get my transcript in, and I'll let y'all know who that is. But man, you know what? I was really taken back, and didn't expect. I didn't expect it to happen. I mean, I honestly didn't expect it to happen. I knew it had to happen at some point. I've been telling you people. I've been telling everybody. This is a fucking business, all right? It's a corporation. This shit has to make money. If it doesn't make money, you have to either fix it or cut it the fuck loose. That's it. It's as simple as that. I mean, it, honest to God, is as simple as that. And everybody keeps, no, 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 no. It doesn't matter this and it doesn't matter. It fucking matters. It may not matter to Disney, but the people that have stocks in Disney, it matters. I'm going to give you a prime example. If you have 10,000 shares, so you have 10,000 shares of stock in Disney, and let's say it's trading at 138.60 right now, right? And it's trading at 138.60. Now, word gets out that there's been a vote of no confidence, and it needs to come to the shareholders to vote on it. Doesn't matter if it passes or not. It's the perception that there's a vote of no confidence from the shareholders. What this will do is make stock prices plummet quickly. This is how shit works. Doesn't matter if 95% of the people say, nope, I have full confidence in Bob Iger, and 5% of the shareholders say they don't. Doesn't matter. It's how things look to potential investors. So, let's say those 10,000 shares that were trading at $138.60 drop $10 per share. How much money have you lost? You've lost $100,000. Now, imagine you're one of these hedge fund guys, and he has 1 million shares of stocks, or he has 500,000 shares of stocks. How much money did he just lose? So Disney's not going to want word of this getting out. The hedge fund guys don't want word of this getting out either, because they know that if it gets out, that they're going to lose they're going to lose their ass. I mean, they're really going to lose their ass. So if you own a $500,000 shares of stock in Disney, and it goes down $10, just $10. I mean, it's still trading at $128.60 a share, which is still way the hell up there. Doesn't matter. You still lost $5 million. Do you think people are going to be happy with losing $5 million? Absolutely not. And Steph raised a good point. Lucas's shares are not common stocks. Lucas's shares are stocks in the Disney Corporation. They're not common stocks. They're not up for sale. These are stocks that Disney keeps on their own. Now, the fact that George has these stocks, whether he foresaw this or not, he's in a good position right now. I mean, seriously, he's in a great position right now. Now, even if they remove Bob Iger, it's not gonna be a humongous deal. Now, we all know that Iger was already getting pressure to begin with, which is, of course, he stepped down. He was on the board of directors for Apple, and he stepped down off the board at Apple, so he could focus more on Disney. Bitch, you should have been focusing on Disney to begin with. You should have. This Fox thing should have never happened. You paid way too much fucking money for this shit. You paid way too much money for this Fox merger to go through, and now you've paid even more money to get Spider-Man back, just so you could go fuck him up. Because that's exactly what's going to happen. Next thing you know, Spider-Man is going to have fucking tits and a vagina and still be a dude. It's what's going to happen. You're going to see it in the suit. It. This is the shit that keeps you up at night, because I don't want to sell these stocks. These stocks my dad bought at $24 a share. And these are supposed to be for retirement years, my kid. But, I mean, I've been extremely vocal. I've sent letters where I need to send letters to. I have spoken on the phone personally with people I need to speak with. There's a lot riding on episode 9. And we'll just say that these same people that have a vote of no confidence right now, these same hedge fund holders that have a vote of no confidence right now, are the same type of people. And I'm not really going to make this political, but it is kind of tied in. There's my little rotten, my little baby lion. What are you doing? Sorry, it's rotten. Hi. Everybody, this is Turbo. This is what used to be the little kitten that I saved from being a stray. Which, as you can tell, is a little rotten. Little Turbo. Call him Turbo because, man, once that little sucker gets wound up, man, it is fun. The dog loves to play with the damn... Oh, that thing's purring his ass off. He loves to play with the damn 2 pit bulls. Crazy. They say that's the end of the world when dogs and cats get along. But these suckers here, I mean, they get along just like their brother and sister. But I'm not gonna be the one to go out there and throw it all over the damn media because I got I mean, it doesn't sound like a lot, but I got 10,000 shares. There's shit to lose. So I need to keep my money up too. And here's the thing: if shares start to go down, it's not a good time to sell because that's just gonna. All right, you need to move. All right, you want some cat butt? You know what those are? Balls, because that's what I have, bitches. Balls. Even my cat's got balls. I'm just saying. Yeah, so I'm not going to throw that out there and make this a big old humongous deal because, I mean, if stocks start to fall and then people start to sell, then stocks are going to fall even faster. That's not a good deal either. So your $100,000 could turn into a $200,000 loss, and so it's not a good deal all the way around. It was brought up by the other hedge fund investors that they didn't like the new phase of Marvel. Yeah, and like I said, I don't want this to get political because good God, I could go a completely different direction if this gets political. Um, but just like the majority of the people that um, are in the stock market are the major backers of Democrats and Republicans. Well, they're not wanting to back the Democrats because of, well, the motherfuckers are crazy. They want to do crazy shit. So, same thing with these hedge fund guys. They're not wanting to back all of this crazy shit that is trying to get pushed by Disney right now through Marvel, through Lucas, even through Pixar. And if you don't go watch the Pixar shit, you won't even know. But if you go watch the Pixar movies, that shit's in the Pixar movies too. So they're trying to put this shit into everything. And I got news for you. It's not working. And the investors have started to see it. We've seen losses 3 quarters in a row. We've seen available cash get cut down each individual quarter. And available cash really shouldn't be cut down right now because the acquisition of Fox and the companies that they had to sell off should have went back into available cash. So that money should have went up, and it didn't. It continues to go down. It's crazy. It kind of is what it is. The new hotel that they're going to be putting up at Galaxy's Edge is so goddamn unaffordable that there's maybe 2 people in the fucking chat that could stay there for 2 fucking days. True story. Now, granted, is it going to be cool as shit because you're not going to have a window anywhere? It's going to be like you're on a ship and you're in space and everything else, and you're actually going to feel like that. But the amount of money it's going to take, and I think, now, critical, I think the hotel is a great idea because you're all encapsulated, and it's as though you're on a big ship. But then again, you're actually immersed in the world because you're actually able to dress appropriately. Whereas right now in Galaxy's Edge, you can't wear a costume in Galaxy's Edge. You can't go dressed up in Galaxy's Edge. They will throw your ass out of the park. Imagine that shit. Throw your ass out of the park for being dressed up to go to a Star Wars themed attraction. Well, if you're at the hotel, not only are you encouraged to dress Um, it's also an option. Um, it is bullshit, but they will throw your ass out of the park for coming in dressed up, or not allow you to enter the park at all. Um, but at the hotel, it's actually encouraged, and you can actually pay extra. And when you get to your hotel room, where you'll be staying, your clothes will already be there, and this will be the way you dress. So what they're equating it to is they're equating it to being on a cruise ship, um, but you'll be in a cruise ship cruising through the galaxy. Except it's going to cost you an arm and a leg. There will be attractions and things to do and everything else at the new hotel, and reading up on it and getting the yeah. If I wanted to do this at home instead of doing it here, um, because um, I actually have a multiple pictures that were sent in an email with some of the things that you're able to do while you're going to be at the hotel, staying at the hotel. So everybody could have seen them. But I mean, I'll just do that in the next one, or I'll make a video of it, or something else. It'll be something like that. Um, but that way y'all can see that there's actually, I mean, there's actually going to be stuff to do. But oh my God, yeah, nobody's going to be able to afford to do it. I mean, I can't afford to do it. It's fucking expensive as shit. Would it be neat as hell? Hell yeah. Um, like I said, they've come up with multiple patents for, you know, you'll be able to you'll be able to be shooting at first order troopers. You know, there's all kinds of stuff that you're going to be able to do if you got the money. Now, is it going to set it back with the parks not doing as well, or the parks not doing well at all? Yeah, Rob. Good night, brother. Let them meds hit you, and because I'm gonna guarantee you, as soon as I get off this live, my ass is going to the house. I'm gonna take a shower, and I'm going to sleep. I've worked till 3 o'clock in the morning every damn night, um, except for last night. I worked until 12:30 last night. So I'm gonna go my ass to the house, and I'm gonna take me a shower and go my ass to sleep. I'm not. There'll be no meds required on my part. I'm gonna pass the hell out as soon as I can get there. I have literally worked my ass off all week long to try and make sure I had something done. So yeah, I've thrown in enough hours. That's my hands are still scarred up and bleeding and everything else from today and dirty as hell, and you know, just one of them things. You want shit done right, you gotta do it yourself. Someone should go live. All right, so now that we've got Disney out of the way, because I figured that would be interesting enough, because it's major, huge ass news, um, and I do mean huge ass news. I was fully not expecting to hear what I heard. Um, I knew it was coming because you can't run a business this way, but it was kind of a relief, but kind of not. You know what I mean? I don't with the restructuring. I honestly critical with the restructuring going on. We know it's going to put a halt um, to anything Star Wars as far as their motion pictures. Now they have to have it for their streaming service, which has cost a complete shit ton of money. It has literally cost a shit ton of money. What? Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. You didn't order some shit off of Wish, did you, John? You didn't order some shit off of Wish, did you? Well, the thing is the 20 YouTubers that would give you an opinion on this opinion don't know shit because they're not involved. So, yeah, they're not involved. So, the only thing they can do is give an opinion. What's going on, Jonathan Garcia? And we all know how opinions are. He sent me a love donut. Right now, I need fucking band-aids is what I need right now, dude. I shit you not. I probably lost a damn pint of blood today. It's been freaking crazy. This most of it's from just lack of sleep and me sticking my hand where I shouldn't put my hand. Um, but the good news is eventually at some point all this shit here will be over and I'll be able to move on. And as soon as that happens, we can get back to normal life and get an ass of shit out of storage so I can get all my shit back and start going regular, doing what we were doing before. No, I'm not the ass tickler here, John. We all know you're the ass tickler here. Yeah, there's probably about another month or so here that I've got to take care of. Some lawsuits that I got to take care of. Um, Actually, multiple lawsuits that I have to take care of. So, you know, I've already taken two of them to court, and I've already won both. Now, I mean, I may not win the other ones. You know what I mean? It's just kind of is what it is. So, a couple month, 2 months, I'll be the fuck out of here, and then I don't have to worry about this shit here anymore. And then I can focus more on doing the shit that I like to do again. Um, but going back to a little bit of the rumors that everybody's been hearing on episode 9. I just saw a video yesterday that one of these opinion YouTubers put out that it's confirmed Raylo is episode 9. Raylo is in episode 9. Shit, you not. Watched it yesterday. Damn sure did. Star Wars only, I believe. Um, well, Star Wars only doesn't know shit. Star Wars only doesn't know shit. That's right. I said it. It's fucking 2000 and it's 2019, bitch. I'm gonna put a name on it. So, Star Wars only, 900 whatever 600,000 fucking subscribers doesn't know shit. There's no Raylo in episode 9. Um, Matter of fact, the majority of these channels with all these damn humongous ass numbers of subscribers know absolutely jack shit. They don't know anything. Nothing. I'm wearing my Mike Zero t-shirt right now because he can throw darts at a dartboard for, I don't know, 150 fucking times. And he might hit the board once. So, I don't know anybody that can throw. I don't know anybody that can throw. God damn it! I don't know how many videos. You know what I mean? I don't know how many videos I made. I don't know. I don't know how many people can throw that many freaking darts and land on the fucking bullseye so many fucking times. And then, um, so there's no Raylo in episode 9, and I think it was Star Wars only. It may not have been Star Wars only, but I believe it was Star Wars only that I saw it on. Because I went by it and I went, no, it's not. So I had to click on the video. I mean, I had to. Um, and I was like, you have no fucking clue what you're talking about. You have no idea. How the fuck do you get this many subscribers, and why do you continue to make videos if they're all bullshit? You know, the really, you know, I mean, I got respect for John, um, which, I mean, he was one of the original members of the Rebel Alliance too. You know, John's taken more of an opinion approach, but you know, kind of like everybody else on YouTube, where they just read shit and and gives his opinion on it, which I think is great. I mean, he still has the same fucking opinion we do. So, well, Maz, you know, I've I don't have anything against Urban Acolyte at all. Our channels have always been complete opposites of each other, and I do mean complete opposites, because mine's been correct and his has been not. But you know, he's entitled to his opinion. So, you know, I respect anybody who you got an opinion. I mean, by all means, you're more than willing. I mean, you're more than free to express it. Um, just because you have different opinions doesn't make a bad people. I don't think Urban Acolyte is a bad person at all. I don't agree with his opinion, and I really honestly don't like the view. But the fact that he has an opinion and he's got the balls enough to put it out there, goddamn right, I got respect for that. Um, there's some YouTube channels out here I got absolutely zero fucking respect for, and I do mean zero fucking respect. Like, would I piss on them if they were on fire? Hell no. I wouldn't even piss on them if they were on fire. I might pay a damn prostitute to piss on them if they were on fire, but you know, it'd only be like $1 or $2. So y'all fuckers need to super chat me $1 so I can, you know, just in case one of these YouTubers comes near me, I'll have $1 to give to a prostitute to go piss on them after I light them on fire. Um, but anyway, so now that we've called out a few YouTube channels, we all know that Mike Zero is going to keep doing his thing, and you know what? He's been doing his thing for years and years and years and years. And I mean, he's a staple for positivity, for Star Wars. And man, I wish I could be that person that's, you know, always positive about Star Wars. But I've seen it, and I know what's coming. Y'all know what's coming. No, no, D. You're gonna be so damn woke in episode 9. It's not even funny. I swear to God, you're gonna be you're gonna be so woke. Oh, Jason Ward. Oh my God, don't even get me started on that. Well, I already made one video trashing his ass. So, I don't have a problem trashing Jason Ward. I really don't. His opinion means absolutely shit. John Campea, I don't give a fuck about John Campea either. I mean, if Disney were a dude, he'd be going down on him. That's all I'm saying. Um, you know what I'm saying? I mean, seriously, if Disney was a dude, John Campea would be going down on him. So, um, I don't really care what John Campea thinks. I mean, as soon as Captain Marvel came out, dude's sitting there with a fucking Captain Marvel jacket on. That's wrong. I mean, that's just wrong. It's just wrong. You're going to see R2D2. Absolutely. You'll see R2D2 in episode 9. If you go to see it, or you wait until it comes out on streaming, or if you watch it on Blu-ray. Now, Steph and I talked about this the other day, about the story group. She had asked me a question about the story group, since it was confirmed, or since they finally made the announcement that Kevin Feige was going to be directing some Star Wars material, which is going to free up. Wait a minute. Which is going to free up Kathleen Kennedy to focus on what she really needs to focus on, which I'm assuming is tampons, her vagina, or Rainbow Indiana Jones. One of the two, or one of the three. I had to throw tampons in there because y'all wanted it. So you got it. Critical Equation. Thanks for the super chat. The man, the myth, the legend, Craig 316. I appreciate that so much. Not really a myth, not really a legend. Just somebody who just tells it how it is. And that's just all there is to it. I mean, seriously, that's all there is to it. Man, just tell it how it is. Ron Navy with the worst freaking Yoda impression I have ever heard in my entire fucking life. Dude, that is a humongous fucking super chat. And is that supposed to be me getting off right there? Is that like a rutabaga? That's just nasty. I'm just saying, that's just nasty. That's just nasty. We got the OG. Thanks for the super chat there, OG. Clone Luke's hand. Great to see Craig and the gang. It's good to be back, and it's good to be, actually, y'all help me more than I help you. I can tell you that right now. Honest to God. I've got so much bullshit in my head and everything else going on, that it's, you know, y'all guys have always been y'all guys have always been there. So, believe me, y'all help me a hell of a lot more than I help y'all. I mean, I just tell you what I know. There's a couple of rumors. I'm still in contact, and me and Steph talked about it the other day. Because I got off track. Me and Steph talked about it the other day, after they made the announcement about Kevin Feige, and everybody started. All right, y'all need to stop that shit, because then y'all gonna get me all up in my feels and shit. And I don't need to get all up in my feels right now. I can piss on 19. You're right, Ron. I needed $1 to piss on these YouTube sites. Well, you're damn right. I can piss on damn near 20 of them now. You know, we talked about it the other day, me and Steph and I, because everybody started speculating that, oh my God, Kevin Feige's getting ready to take over Lucasfilm, and none of that has come up at all. I'm just going to let you know that now. None of that's come up at all. Steph wasn't aware. I don't believe Steph was aware, but the Marvel franchise and the Star Wars franchise, the stories are done in the identical same room. And the Marvel timeline, each character is brought in at the correct time in the timeline. Whereas Star Wars is just all over the goddamn place. But both of these are done in the same story room. Yeah, they're done by different people, but they're done in the same story room. And I didn't know she wasn't aware of it. She thought it was kind of interesting, but you know, that's the truth. You know, Marvel stuff is done in the same place that Lucasfilm stuff is done, but Marvel's been a success, and you know, Lucasfilm is a disappointment. Mazarus, thanks for the super chat. And I can go piss on 10 more channels, apparently. Um, it says, told you dingbats, Craig was right on December 20th. We've known this for a long time. We've seen it coming. Steph, good night, girl. Miss you. Watch your stuff all the time. I mean, you know, the video comes up. I'm in the middle of work, and I hit the phone and watch. So a lot of them likes that you see up there, they're mine. I agree with Jay on this one right here. Now we have Star Wars. It's like genital herpes, but there's no cream for it. Absolutely no cream for it. Yeah. So episode 9 is going to be a complete shit show. I said this a fucking year ago, and now it's even being confirmed by Jesus. Everybody. I mean, everybody's confirming it that it's going to be an absolute shit show. I should have patented the fucking phrase a damn year ago. I mean, really should have. Damn, if I'd have trademarked that shit, I'd be rich as shit right now. Because now everybody's calling it a shit show, and it is. It's a shit show. Even when you go through and read all the articles and everything else, it's 30 pounds of shit in a 2.5 hour 2 hour and 20 minute movie, packed with 4 hours worth of shit. So you're gonna get so fucking lost in this thing. It's not even funny. I mean, you're gonna get so lost in this shit because it is gonna be so fucking nauseating. The fan service that you're gonna get is gonna be worse than Chinese tea. And I love Chinese tea. It means it's really, 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 really sweet. Well, guess what? This is going to have like 18 times the amount of sugar that Chinese tea's got in it. So you're basically going to be drinking syrup watching this damn thing here. There's so much fan service and so many hand jobs trying to come at you from different directions just to try to get fans back. And I got news for you. It doesn't matter. You have already screwed up. You've already screwed up the franchise. It's done. I mean, it's done. It's just like I keep saying, I can't unfuck my ex-wife. Well, you can't unfuck Star Wars right now. Let me get back up here. Team Jesus, thanks for the $2 super chat. It says, I see Disney plus episode 9 equals destination fuck. That is absolutely true. I know that probably some of y'all have seen a few of the characters that they've released, the new characters, like Frick. I mean, fucking seriously, can you not come up with a better name than Frick? I mean, this is like somebody on set said, what the frick is this? Well, there you go. That's exactly how they're just, I mean, that just shows you the laziness or the lack of, not the laziness, the lack of creativity. Because I'm sure that J.J. Abrams is it's a Frick. I ain't kidding, it's a Frick. Yeah, there's a Frick. Yeah, plays a good part in the movie. Frick. His last name's Frick. I forget. I forget the first name of it, but it's a really dumb name that doesn't even go with Frick, which makes it even sound worse. I mean, it's like having 4 first names, like, you know, Billy Joe, John, Jacob. You know what I mean? It's kind of like that. So just the stupidest shit. And I don't think it's J.J. Abrams not putting in the effort. I'm absolutely positive that he has probably beat his head up against the wall, trying to come up with everything Yeah, Babbo Frick. I mean, it sounds like some shit out of Lord of the Rings. And if you look at him, I kid you not, if you look at him, the motherfucker is related to Maz Kanata. I don't give a shit what anybody says. Maz Kanata with the two starfish eyes, you know, and you know what a starfish is. Everybody knows what I call a starfish. Um, yeah. So you know he's racking his brain, and you know he's doing everything he can do. He's doing everything he can do to try and come up with something, but you know sometimes, just like the situation that I'm in here at the shop with what went on, and some of you know and some don't, and I don't want to get into it. It is what it is. Um, Sometimes it doesn't matter how hard you try. There's just nothing you can do. And at some point, you just need to let go. So, I know JJ is really trying. I know he is. Um, but, oh, absolutely. Universal would just say, no, that shit's not canon. And to come out and say that Mara Jade is not canon, let me explain something to y'all motherfuckers right now. You want to piss off 3/4 of the Star Wars community? Disown fucking Mara Jade. You want to piss off 3/4 of the damn Star Wars community. Because you did. As soon as Lucasfilm confirmed that she is not canon, you pissed off 3/4 of your fan base. Because Mara Jade is a fucking icon when it comes to Star Wars. That's like saying Darth Bane or Nihilus or Revan or Malik or Bastila. They're not canon either. The fuck you talking about? That's not canon, but Boba Frick is? Man, I'll drop my shorts right now. I'll stand up right now. Drop my shorts. Well, here's the thing with that, One Force. Here's the thing with that. Right now, you're looking at your initial investment of 4.5 billion. You're looking at the 3.2 billion that you're in the hole, which is 7.7 billion, and then you're looking at the total of 3 billion for your Galaxy's Edge theme parks, which puts you at around 10.5 billion into Lucasfilm. How are you going to sell it? You can't just stop it. You know, I seem to be the only one putting numbers up, and numbers never lie. I'm a numbers guy, always have been. Numbers don't lie. So as you get to that $10.5 billion mark of what you have invested, in this company. Now, granted, they've made some of that money back um, through licensing agreements, through some of the movies, blah blah blah. They've made that money back, some of that money back. Um, so they're not really 10.5 billion into Lucasfilm now. It's come down, but still, we've got from what we can get from the statements. Um, we're looking at around $3.2 billion in loss. That's a pretty big loss. So even if you sold it for what you bought it for, if you sold it for 4.5 billion, you're still taking over $1 billion loss. And you don't have your content for your streaming service that's costing Disney out the ass. Now, I don't have, and it's not even on the statement. I don't have exactly how much money has been invested, rerouted, and put into the streaming service. But it's a shit ton of money. It is a shit ton of money been put into the streaming service, and they have to have content for it. I mean, do you think that you're gonna watch? Do you think people are gonna pay that money for fucking Disney Ducktales, or to watch any of these stupid little Disney kid shows and all that other stuff? It's just not gonna happen. James, my brother, good night, man. The streaming service was and is, because I mean everybody knows that cable is going. It's leaving. Barbara, yeah, cable is leaving. So we all know that streaming is the next big thing, and you know it's a good idea to get into that. But Disney already owned um, a rather good part of Hulu. So why would you do that? And then part of this Fox deal got them more shares of Hulu. But then why would you start your own streaming service? You already fucking own a good portion of a streaming service that's already functional. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm gonna have to make a shirt that says I can't deal with stupid, because it's what it is. It's redundant. You're competing against yourself. What's going on, man? Been a while. It's Jonathan. Did the Phantom Menace win? I'm gonna say yeah, but it's not because of the noise we made, and it's not because of everything else. It's just because people are finally starting to come around. I mean, people are just really finally starting to come around to all this. You know, if you're going against yourself with the streaming service, owning, um, well, I think after they took over, I think part of the Fox buyout and everything else, because Fox had X amount of shares in Hulu, and um, of course, Disney had a huge portion of Hulu, which was going to give them almost a 50% cut of Hulu, which would have given them a lot of leverage in what they could show, what they could do. And then why would you turn around and spend all of this money to do your own streaming service? Kind of doesn't make any sense to me. I wouldn't want to open another shop competing with the other shop if I owned both of them. That's dumb. Now, if I wanted to, if I wanted to do this over here on this shop and this over here on this shop, I'm not competing with myself. I'm doing two completely different things, and now I'm taking two different ways and going to two different markets, which is great. Disney's not doing that. And not only that, what they thought, remember the Fox companies that they had to sell off, they thought they were going to get a pretty good chunk of change for them. And turns out I think they got 50 cents on the dollar. It turned out to be the correct amount of money that they got. 50 cents on the dollar. So they really got screwed in the Fox companies that they had to sell, but they had to sell them in order for all of this to get approved, so they're not a monopoly. Yeah, you know, Disney has tried to do their own thing. Ron Navy, thanks for the super chat. Still the absolute god awfulest freaking Yoda ever. Um, Star Wars is just dead, plain and simple. Fuck you, Disney. You know, yeah, I saw it, Barbara, and it's still not canon. It still doesn't go with the first movie. Um, I mean, you can remake the Last Jedi as many times as you want, and you can rearrange, do everything else, and he did some really nice things in there. That some stuff that I really did like. Um, he did some really nice stuff in there that I really did like. I mean, really did, and did change the way the scene played, um, which was great. But you you can only polish a turd so much, you know. I mean, that's the God's honest truth. You can really only polish a turd so much. Um, um, I thought he did. I thought he did. And there were quite a few scenes where I thought he did, you know, extremely well just by removing some things and rearranging where they were in order and changing the music. Changing the music. People don't realize that there's even music playing in the background of these movies. The entire freaking movie. People don't even realize it because you're in the movie. You're not really listening to the music. The music is just leading you in a direction. Um, so by doing some music changes and by rearranging some stuff, I think he did. I think he did a great job with what he had to work with. Honestly, um, I have still only watched The Last Jedi one time, and I can probably go word for word from beginning to end. As bad as that sounds, in a 2.5 hour movie that you've seen one time, because that's how big of an impression and how bad it really fucking sucked and you hated it. I can probably go word for word from start to finish on The Last Jedi, seeing it one time. So that lets you know how deeply this is buried in my head, and you know I have to live with that shit. I have to live with that. Some things can't be unseen, and you know, I mean, I well, Maz, I was supposed to go help him shoot that, and I don't know. Then there some shit happened between I don't know the Star Wars girl and Jeremy and everything else. So because I'm just right down the road, I was gonna go help him do that scene for the movie, and I was actually gonna shoot it for him. So I don't know what exactly happened to it after that. I don't know if he had problems with it. The choreography I know was going well because I was talking with Ivan, and the choreography was going really well. They were practicing three times a week. Um, yeah, Ivan's really only like an hour and a half down the road from me. So, um, and we were talking back and forth about that scene quite a bit until until the other YouTube channel with way too many fucking subscribers pretty much and knows absolutely, you know, just opinion bullshit. So we don't speculate. We don't do opinion here. I don't whether you like it or not. I'm sorry. I don't speculate and I don't do opinion. I just tell you how shit is, and you can either like it or not. You know, the cancel culture, and I don't even call them social justice warriors anymore because they're not. They're not trying to do that. That they're not SJWs. They're just fucking crazy people, man. I mean, they're really fucking crazy people. These some bitches have a cult or fucking religion or whatever the fuck, and that shit's spreading like wildfire. So if you're looking for the next zombie apocalypse, there it is. And Disney got caught up in it, and now Disney's paying for it. Now, do I hate that stocks are going to drop and stocks are going to do this? Do I like the fact that they're going to restructure Lucasfilm? Absolutely, but they're also going to be restructuring. They're going to be restructuring Marvel at the same time. Um, Failure, the greatest teacher is. Uh, yeah, well, failure, the greatest teacher is. If you recognize it as a failure, they still don't recognize Solo as a failure. You lost $200 million on a movie. How is it not a failure? Okay, so my main shop got broke into and $94,000 worth of shit got stolen. And insurance is not covering a fucking thing. Now, is that my failure? It's really not my failure. I mean, I have a security system. I have camera system. 16. I'm sorry, 22 cameras. It's nothing I could do. $94,000 worth of shit got stolen. So, Sebby, what's happening, brother? Yeah. So that's not a failure on my part. Now, for Disney to look at Solo losing 200 million and not recognizing that Solo was a failure, that is a mistake. You should never have a failure in Star Wars. I'm hanging in there, Sebby, man. It's been a while, but by God, I'm gonna be doing 1 to 2 streams a week. Um, yeah, Maz, I got cleaned out here, dude. They cleaned my clock here. 41,900 something dollars worth of tools, just tools. Um, are around 30, I think $38,000 worth of parts, and the rest was cash. Well, cash and a four wheeler. The four wheeler I used to move cars in and out and everything else. They pretty much just ransacked the place and just fucking took everything. So, um, it just kind of is what it is. You got to deal with it. I mean, if I sat there and thought about it and thought about it all the damn time, which I do the majority of the time, but which is why I tell you, y'all fucking help me more than I help y'all. Um, I've been off YouTube for a long time, and that's going to change. I'm going to go back to making videos. They're not going to be as high quality as they were before because I did have good equipment, which I still have the good equipment. It's just in storage. Um, I do have lots of information. I really can't go over all of it right now. It's just there's a ton of information coming up on episode 9. The thing is, and I'm gonna give you this kind of as a to hold you over until the next video, which more than likely I'm going to be doing a regular normal video this weekend that will be posted more than likely on Sunday night, um, where I'll be talking about a specific subject that's going to be coming up. No, Ray doesn't die. Yeah, Ray does not die. But as of right now, there are six, six fucking endings for this movie. Holy shit, JP, man, what's up, brother? One of the best damn fan fiction writers there is right there. Everybody say hey to JP, even though that some bitch has got like no fucking picture up. We need to get him an avatar because, man, I'm gonna tell you what, his fan fiction shit is fucking spot on. Oh yeah, we were all hoping she'd die, but you know that's not gonna happen. She's a woman. Women don't ever die. Women never die. You can't kill a woman. You can't fire a woman. You can't do anything else to a woman in Hollywood. They did a couple of test screenings on two separate endings, and neither one of them went well. Well, Lucasfilm didn't rip it off. Ryan Johnson ripped it off. Same way he ripped off the title for the freaking movie. I mean, he ripped that off of a book that was written, damn, what, 7, 8 years ago? You know, there was a book written called The Last Jedi. He ripped the freaking name off of that. He admitted that he ripped off, um, well, I call it the vagina well, the dark side hole that Ray went down. Um, you know, with the whole snapping of the fingers, and he ripped that shit off a music video. I mean, everything he did was a rip off of something. Yeah, exactly. Street Solo as well. Which I mean, you know, it everything in the movie's ripped off, but he wants to he wanted to subvert your expectations because guess what? If you have low expectations, you never get disappointed. That's a yeah. There you go. Pay for whichever ending you want. That's the best thing to do. You know, do you want a shitty ending? Do you want a less shitty ending? We can give you a more shitty ending, or we can give you a reach around ending. Uh, None of these are going to be good, but you know, none of these will be good endings. But you know, what are you going to do? Yeah, exactly. He ripped off, you know, Escape from L.A. Yeah, there were seriously the whole entire movie. If you go through it, he ripped off so much shit, and I'm talking about scenes are fucking identical. Uh, it, yeah, exactly. Mojo said it ripped off an entire movie. Yeah, you just copied and pasted a whole fucking movie. And that bitch said, we'll just take episode 4 and put 7 in it and put a vagina on Luke. How about that? Well, I think that sounds like a great idea. Let's take one of the baddest ass freaking robots out there, R2D2, and let's feminize that bastard into BB-8. I think BB-8's trans. I'm not picking on the trans community. I'm just saying I think BB-8 is part of the trans community. Oh yeah, I remember. Yeah, I remember. I remember Clue where there were, you know, well, a protocol droid is never gonna be, never, ever, ever gonna be an HK-47. Fucking Sevi with that damn hashtag R2 me too. That's you got to get that shit trending on Twitter. That's hilarious. Holy shit, that's hilarious. There's a yeah, hell yeah, HK-47. That's a freaking droid. I mean, that's a droid. Which you know, and I all right. So it's been a while for the Rogue One movie, and I'm trying to remember what designation the damn droid was there, but that was based off of an HK-47, where the idea was based off of an HK-47. They wanted to make a droid that, and I can't remember what I can't remember what. It's been so damn long. I don't get. Yeah, K2SO. There you go. K2SO was loosely based on the HK-47, um, and you can see some of the similarities, as far as they were trying to get body shape, arm length, um, the way it walked, down to like an HK-40. I mean, down like HK-47. Um, dude, I still play all of my Star Wars games and HK-47. I saved up my freaking cartel coins so I could buy me a damn HK-47. I know that I eventually get one, but I only get one if I go as a damn Jedi. And I don't want to get one as a Jedi. So I wanted my own HK as a Sith. I started as a Jedi and I immediately turned to the bad side. I suggest everybody that plays that game immediately go in as a Jedi, and then immediately, as soon as you come out of training, flip to the dark side, and you'll be a dark side Jedi. You'll be red eyed and everything else, and because hardly anybody else does it. Team Jesus, and I appreciate it. Going to bed sounds like a good idea. I have probably worked about 80 hours this week, and I'm getting ready to do the same thing because I got to ride back to the house and take a shower, get something to eat. And Mojo, you're gonna love the Joker movie. I've already seen it. It's good. Actually, it's not good. It's a really good movie. It is a really good movie. Which one's better? You talking about a 50 cal? Dude, you can't even shoot a 50 cal. That thing drops an elephant. That thing drops an elephant like right there where he stands. It is. It's a good movie. It's a good movie. And I've never been a real big fan of Joaquin Phoenix. Never been a really good fan of Joaquin Phoenix. But I didn't like him as Johnny Cash. I thought he did okay. Could have been played by somebody else and been a much better movie. But I like his version of Joker, and the reason I do that, the reason I like his version of Joker, and no, it's not like Joker out of the comic books. Um, but then again, Heath Ledger's Joker wasn't a Joker out of the comic books either. I shot an elephant gun. It took me to the ground. Hell yeah, that's no shit, man. Them things will knock your dick in the dirt. They're crazy. I I've got some really really badass ones. Um, I've got some really badass guns. Like I got a SOCOM, and the SOCOM that I built is it's made for blowing a 4 foot hole in a concrete wall. And it will do it. It will blow a 4 foot hole in a concrete wall with one shell, one bullet. But each bullet costs $3.50 each bullet. So it's not one of those that you take out and you go shoot, 500 rounds in a day because it just costs you $1,500 to go shoot it. Um, but I did. I built my SOCOM myself. I got the upper, got the lower, bolt carrier group, everything else. I built the whole thing myself. Um, all of that stuff's out there so you can build it yourself the same way I build my AR-15s and everything else. My 1911s, my 1916s, um, all that stuff's out there that you can build. So I thought Rambo. I thought Rambo brought a really good message, um, and some really good awareness to PTSD. Um, I thought there was some really good acting in it. I think the script could have been a little bit better. All in all, it's a good movie. An M16, an M16 is a military weapon. So yeah, an M16 is a repeating. Yeah, the M16 is repeating definitely. It's semi or fully automatic, but that's an actual military weapon. I don't have one of those. I do know someone who has one, but yeah, I'm definitely no. An M16. Well, the AR-15 is a copy of an M16. Um, Almost a direct copy um, of an M16. The carbine is the same. Um, um, Really, the only differences between the two would be the semi-automatic and automatic feature on the M16, and of course, the durability on the AR-15 has gotten way better. So, I mean, you can don't cheap out and get one that doesn't have the mud flaps and everything else because you never know when you're going to need that shit. Pay the extra $50 and get the ones with the mud flaps so you can keep your damn gun clean. So just in case the shit does hit the fan, you got it. I've shot an M16 a few times. and really never had a problem with it, as long as you're using um, the metal magazines. Um, well, if the forward assist isn't helping much, then there's an issue with the gun itself. That would be an issue with the actual gun itself. If your forward assist is not helping, then I predict Cats will make more money than Episode 9. I'm not gonna give a prediction on how much I think Episode 9 is gonna make. I don't think it's gonna hit 800. Well, I think it's gonna hit 800. I don't think it's gonna go over 800. None of the Star Wars movies have done well in China. Period. China being the second biggest market. Um, and with this being the only draw, really the only draw, um, to seeing Episode 9 is people for nostalgia being able to say, I saw the last movie and I know what it was about. But then again, I don't need I don't need herpes simplex 12 in order to know what it's about. I can talk with somebody who's had it, or I can read up on the subject and know that I don't want it. So, well, we've seen them do it before, and we've seen them do it before. We've seen them buy. And I even brought proof and put the shit in a video proof from the managers of two independent movie theaters, and still had comments underneath that it was bullshit. I got news for you, dude. When a man says this theater and this theater were completely booked and two people show up, there's nobody out there going to book 400 seats in the IMAX version, which we all know costs more, and not show up. 400 people. Okay, so I'm not a statistician, but I can tell you that that's horseshit. We saw him do it with Captain Marvel, and they even admit that Captain Marvel is not good for Marvel. Period. There, you can't really double down on it. Um, Mojo, I mean, that's what they did for that's exactly what they did for Captain Marvel. And right now they're under a shit ton of pressure from the shareholders. It was a different shareholder meeting than every other shareholder meeting that a lot of them I don't get involved in the phone conversation and listen in or anything else. Wait for them to send me, um, you know, a transcript of what happened, and I'll read it and go through the numbers that they can. I'll normally do that instead of getting on the phone. But I mean, I really wanted to hear what was going on this time. So I've been on quite a few of them, and this one was completely different. And I do mean complete. I mean right off the rip, completely different. Even the Disney execs that started off the shareholders meeting had, I mean, their first the first couple lines. They admitted that There were some things that they were going to have to improve on, which means there are things that we fucked up, um, or things that we shouldn't have done. Um, and then there's we have a plan in place right now. Okay, if you have a plan in place, what is it? Because they're always vague about everything. And sure enough, this is exactly how it started off. We know we screwed up. I'm going to give it to you in layman's terms. We know we screwed up. We did some shit we shouldn't have done. We made movies we shouldn't have done. We made choices that were completely bad. Um, you know, we decided to give every fan out there the big old middle finger on a bunch of franchises, and we refused to listen to what they had to say because we're dumb. But we have a plan. I don't see how you have a plan to become undumb. That's not how that works. There are people at Disney that are taking the fall for a bunch of shit that's really not their fault, not their problem, things they had nothing to do with. No, I don't think Disney's going to decanonize the new trilogy. They're trust me, they're so they're balls deep in that thing. I mean, they are balls deep at this point, and it's going to be extremely critical. I hope everybody goes to see Jumanji. They're not going to make a Ryan Johnson trilogy. At this point, it's just a process. It's a process. It's not a process. All right, dude. It's not a process. And it's not a coincidence that he made the movie Knives Out, um, going after Trump supporters or Republicans or this and that and shoot killing them for sport. That's that's not a coincidence either. Um, but the good news is we had a big enough community with valid points that finally enough people have said this shit's got to stop. One person can't do it. I'm just a small YouTube channel. I can't do it. But when everybody gets together and has a valid point and a valid point of view, um, and the thing is, if you're trying to get your audience for your $260 million budgeted movie, which means you're going to spend about 240, 250 million promoting it. So now you have a $500 million into a movie. If you want that audience to be 3% or 1.5% of the population of the fucking earth, that's dumb. That's just stupid. Shareholders went along with it because we were promised this and promised that with the Fox takeover. Um, of course, everybody's aware of Skynet over in the EU. That was a big deciding factor. Um, my phone's on low battery right now, so sorry. I do have my camera equipment at the house, so that's why I finally went and got it out of storage, and it's actually where I'm at now. So I'll be able to shoot a video this weekend, um, and more likely I'll just be doing 2 a week, and at least getting back in and shutting down a bunch of these other channels that don't know shit. Just because, I mean, y'all deserve the truth. That's why you stayed subscribed. You wanted to know the truth. Well, there it is. Bam. Not speculation, and I'm not reading some shit that's some opinion piece that some douchebag at Star Wars Only said. You know what I mean? Exactly. SJWs can't buy one stock. Stig, you fucking Swede. I missed you, bro. Yeah, I'm back for not for long because my phone's about to die, um, which is gonna kill my live. But yeah, because I'm having to do it off the phone because I don't have the other stuff set up at the house yet to do the live. Well, I do, but I didn't get a chance to. I didn't get a chance to get out of here. I'm still at work. Um, I still have two more things to go finish. I've got to get this shit done so I can get some money. So I have missed you, Stig. We're gonna have to do a live. I'm gonna have to get you in a live. How's your goat fucking going? Your sheep okay? Actually, the thing's like way the fuck over here, so I don't have an outlet around here I could plug it in. It's like way back there on the wall. Um, oh, I would. That's a good freaking idea right there. It's over, Disney. I have the high ground. Don't try it, Disney. I have the high ground. Oh, I'd be more willing to cut their legs off. I would. All right, I'm on. No, it's all right. It's going. So I will see y'all in the next video.